Peeping is a bad habit, but sometimes curiosity prevails. From childhood, we are taught that peeping is bad. However, when curiosity takes over, we are often unable to control ourselves. Victoria, a 42-year-old woman with an impressive figure, had long since divorced her husband. She had fans from time to time, but the relationship with them was short-lived. She could not stand living together and preferred to stay alone. Victoria had a hot temperament and a passionate character, so the long absence of a man in her life was unbearable for her. She again and again went in search of a companion, wanting only to have fun without commitment. Neighbors judged about her, but she did not care. Victoria's only and favorite daughter, Eva, was married to a young man named Michael. They lived separately and occasionally visited their mother. Victoria's relations with her son-in-law were even and without special problems. This situation suited everyone after all. It happens that at first the mother-in-law loves her son-in-law very much and calls him Sonny, and then, because of some minor misbehavior, he becomes an enemy for life. Distance in everything is the best way to avoid such situations. Eva, too, was content that there was some sort of boundary between her husband and her mother. She was a little afraid of her mother, knowing her temper. Victoria was never shy about expressing her opinion and could unjustifiably offend a person. Later, of course, she apologized, but the relationship was no longer the same. In their case, everyone communicated evenly and without claims to each other. Sometimes Eva felt sorry for her mother. She believed that loneliness is not the best companion. So they often visited her mother, bought her favorite cakes, and came uninvited. One day they decided to do it again. Michael, go to the candy store after work and buy Mom's favorite brownies. We'll go to her tonight, the girl said to her husband on the phone. Okay, I will, he replied. In the evening, they arrived at her mother-in-law's house. She met them with undisguised joy. Come in. How good you are, she exclaimed. I wanted to call you myself. And we felt it, replied Eva. Now I'll put the kettle on, and you make yourselves comfortable. Victoria enjoyed the cakes, while Eva and Michael told her about their business. The atmosphere was warm and cozy. After tea, Victoria turned on the TV and suggested watching a movie. They settled down on the sofa, wrapped in plaids. The movie was interesting, and they were completely immersed in the plot. At some point, Victoria felt hot. She took off the plaid and unbuttoned her blouse. Eva and Michael noticed their mother-in-law's large breasts. Victoria continued to watch the movie, not noticing the stares of her daughter and son-in-law. She felt increasingly uncomfortable. It seemed to her that someone was looking at her. Suddenly, she turned sharply and saw that Eva and Michael were looking at her. Their faces expressed a mixture of surprise and embarrassment. What happened? Victoria asked. Mom, you have a beautiful mole on your chest, answered Eva. We didn't notice it before. Victoria looked at her breast and saw a mole that was not there before. It was large and dark brown in color. It was just a mole. Victoria was embarrassed. In her body, after her son-in-law ate her with his eyes, a warmth appeared, which at night turned into desire. Her house was clean and cozy. Vitaly and Angela went through and settled down on the sofa in the large room. On the table lay magazines. The young people began to leaf through them. Listen, Mom has magazines all with interesting topics. She is certainly good, enlightens herself in this matter, the girl remarked. But why not? She's still a young woman. It's too early for her to stop being interested in such topics, Michael said, although he was surprised at his mother-in-law's interest. The magazines mostly showed pictures of muscular men in very revealing outfits. My mother-in-law is horny, I thought. She must be hot, Victoria, I thought to myself. Look, wife, how these magazines are rubbed to holes, probably popular boys in the photo, and I laughed. When Victoria walked into the lounge with the tray and saw Eve and Michael looking at the magazines, she was a little embarrassed. Oh, I forgot to put it away. It was my friends who came to me and brought them, and they didn't take them away. The mother-in-law could not lie, because she did not know how to do it. She realized that she looked stupid and stopped talking. Mom, these are just ordinary magazines. They don't have anything so special, Eva said. Yes, Mom. No one can surprise anyone with such literature nowadays, Michael added. And the mother-in-law calmed down, seeing that the people close to her did not judge her. And then they drank wine and ate delicious rolls. Young people shared their news, and the mother her own. Everyone had a very nice sit-down. "Mom, we should meet more often. We had such a nice chat." "You come to us yourself. You are always welcome," said the girl on the threshold. They said goodbye. Time passed in its own way. Once Eva asked her husband to go to her mother and take her some oriental spices, which the girl had brought earlier from abroad. Michael said that he would take them with him, and then after work, he would go to his mother-in-law and give them to her. And so it was agreed. "Michael, take the keys, in case Mom will not be home. Then just put it on the table. She herself will deal with the guests when she comes," said after her husband Eva. In the evening, Michael went to Victoria's house. He did not ring the doorbell, but opened the door with his key. Then he could not explain to himself why he did so, but it was not important, by and large. His mother-in-law was apparently taking a bath because he heard water running in the bathroom. He took off his shoes and went into the kitchen, putting the seasoning packet on the table. As he approached the bathroom, he saw his mother-in-law through the uncovered door. She was sitting on a leather buffet, her bathrobe open. The woman was leaning against the tiled wall. She looked very relaxed. It was noticeable that she was experiencing incredible pleasure. There was a smile on her face. Her legs were trembling, her mouth was ajar. The guy felt an intense excitement going on in his body, causing him to feel a shiver run through his whole body. The son-in-law also decided not to lag behind. He watched his mother-in-law, and then it finally hit him. Michael stood for a minute and, unable to stand it, opened the door and entered. When the mother-in-law saw her son-in-law, she was very embarrassed. She realized that he'd been peeping at her for a long time. The mother-in-law did not know how to behave. She was so much confused that she began to nervously wrap her robe. The man took advantage of the woman's confusion and, lifting her in his arms, carried her resolutely out of the bathroom. "I really enjoyed watching you. You did it so cool, I couldn't stand it. And now I want to keep going. Don't stop me. It's no use," he whispered to her as he carried her. "Please, Michael, don't. It's no good." The woman tried to fight back. "It's not good when you can't afford to enjoy yourself. We're not hurting anyone. We're not killing anyone. We're just gonna have it, and that's all." "Is it a crime?" said the guy. It should be noted that Victoria was kind of against it, but not by much. It was more like a moment of indecision. "All right, come on," she finally whispered. The son-in-law felt like God. He was working a beautiful miracle with this woman, and she was giving him incredible emotions. Then they lay on the bed, and the mother-in-law said, "It was so good for me that now I can't let you go, and I don't know what to do, because you are not mine. Moreover, you are my daughter's husband. Victoria, nothing will change. Everything will stay the same. I'll just come to see you once a week. That's all," Michael said. The woman was both happy and sad at the same time. She realized that in order to get a fleeting pleasure, it is not necessary to destroy everything. Not 1 month son-in-law came not expected to his mother-in-law. He liked to secretly enter the apartment and hope that the mother-in-law again takes a bath, and as for the first time to watch her. His wife did not guess anything, even when her husband said that he and his mother-in-law would go on vacation for a couple of days. She was glad that he was spending so much time with her mother. If only she knew what they were doing behind her back.